come to pick up some tickets for Charlotte and Adam, but you might when you sort of pass oh yeah. Are you alright? Yeah. Oh yeah. Great.
Sometimes people don't turn up and other people are waiting.
Oh, okay. What time does it start? Alistair Birch and and Charlotte Norfolk.
I don't have anything under that name, but if she just comes in, I can give her tickets.
Oh, is it? Would it be alright?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Unless she's already got them. What's the time? What's the time now?
It's 8:35.
Okay.
So you've got 10 minutes.
That's brilliant. Thanks a lot. Great. Thanks. Bye.
We got a promotion on the phone.
He's like, yeah, the roller one.
Can I get that?
Yep. It's 280.
What was that?
Excuse me. What? Excuse me.
What are those?
Excuse me.
That white box. There.
Excuse me.
Yep. What was that white box?
Feels like for like cleaning stuff.
Oh, you almost fell in his drink. Okay. You almost fell in his drink.
No.
Okay, thank you.
It's 280.
Do you want anything?
Yeah, I was going to get a meal. You're going to get a meal?
Yeah. Oh, this is my one.
Sorry. Can I have a £1/4 of meal, please, with extra large Coke? And could I have... I've got a student card, do I get an extra cheeseburger?
What drink?
Coke, please.
Can I see that?
I can get more food. With that.
No, I don't. I'm just going to bring it in anyway.
I'm going to get pancakes.
I don't need that, shall we? It's not the morning. There you go.
I've got those.
I've got your burger.
I don't want a green burger.
It's free.
I don't want it.
Don't have it. Don't have it then. How much is that?
It's 420.
Oh, there you go. Thank you very much. Thank you. Hi. Same place. What's the time? What's the time? Yeah. 10 to 9. 10 to 9. 10 to 9.
Labour is montaged along with a lone, rather stooped man poking his forge into a massive and barely controlled open flame. Then inside we see steel cables being made in conditions that don't remotely resemble the clean daylight factories of Fordist propaganda, but instead a dark, messy and dirty room where the only point of light is that of the molten cables. As these are formed, Vertov organises them into an increasingly abstract and apocalyptic motif, coiling and whipping around the forge. The crescendo this time is the alternation between the abstract fluid play of molten steel cables and the determined, dirty faces of the steelworkers. The sounds of a celebratory crowd are montaged over the process. And Vertov, while he's not immune to ornamentalising and aestheticising the process of industrialisation, presents it throughout as dirty and harsh, a pandemonium which must presumably be passed through towards socialism. It's depicted as a fire, the furnace of the 5-year plan, as the contemporary slogan had it. through which many of its participants would be lucky to escape. Victor Shklovsky claimed at the time that the viewers were, quote, physically exterminated by Vertov while watching the film, end quote. But among the film's few contemporary defenders at the first screening in 1931 were several actual Donbass workers, supporting the film's stress on the unromantic difficulty of their labour. Perhaps this point is more relevant in reference to the film's closing scenes on the Kolkhoz, the collective farm, where this time it's Ukrainian folk songs that are made weird and metallic by the distortive sound. The scenes of agricultural abundance here will be followed by famine just over a year later. Enthusiasm is an exemplary work of accelerationism. Its wager is supposedly that by subjecting itself to the most dramatically brutal rigours, through the most painful labour, the working class will be able to create socialism. Although unlike in earlier Vertov films, there are few images that present a particular positive image of socialism. It seems more likely that, as Anna Badiou claims in The Century of the Passion of the Real, it's the inferno itself that's the point. The present vertiginous and accelerating industrial landscapes of uncontrollable fires and unbearable heat. Although Charlie Chaplin himself would specifically praise enthusiasm as one of the greatest symphonies he'd ever experienced, it's propaganda devoid of sentimentality. The enthusiasm is not necessarily for the prospect of socialism in this film. It's for the shocking and defamiliarising process of the Donbass's mechanisation in and of itself. Thank you.
Слушайте, слушайте. Говорит Ленинград. РВ-3. РВ-3. Волна 1000 метров. Передаем марш. Последнее воскресенье. Из фильма «Симфония Донбасса».